Hey, good morning. This is John coming to you from the world headquarters of Racket Quest this morning. A very bright and chilly morning indeed. Wonderful to see winter on its way. Um, it may slow down your tennis play depending on where you live. It doesn't seem to affect us so much in Florida, but where you are, it may be different. So, this is a time of year where you may begin thinking about what would I like to do with my tennis? What would I like to do with my tennis racket? What would I like to do with my tennis string? Whatever that happens to be. And anything related to tennis is what we try to be involved in. Okay. We try to help wherever we can. Um, so, what I wanted to talk about a little bit today is some properties of string that are important. And in conjunction with this visual, I have posted pretty much the same thing on our website, racketquest.tennis. So if you miss this or don't understand what I'm saying because I'm not speaking clearly, which is okay, then you can read about it, and that would be fine as well. But anyway, the properties are power potential, the properties are consistency, i.e., linearity, and the properties are, to some extent, ultimate tensile strength. In other words, how much force can the string stand before it simply breaks? Different strings are certainly much different, and what we've found over the years is that a monofilament string has sometimes a lower tensile strength than a multifilament. And the real basic and simple reason is that a monofilament, when it begins to abrade itself because of friction of the string sliding back and forth, if it reduces its diameter by 1/2, it has reduced its tensile strength by approximately that much. So if you put a string in a racket at 50 pounds and you play with it for a while and it's halfway through the diameter, then 25 pounds, which is not a big hit, quite frankly, is going to fail it. Okay, so that's why you may see one or two or three strings failed. Okay, because it's just worn down to a very, very thin string at that point. With a multifilament, for example, there may be 800 or 900, 1,000 fibers that the string must wear through to get to the point where it's going to fail. And sometimes you get to the point where there's one tiny little strand holding on for dear life. I mean, it's just hanging in there, okay? And, and believe it or not, when the rackets come in that condition, when we check the string bed stiffness, we will find that that string is still able to hold quite a load. Okay, so different strings are different. So, but tensile strength, ultimate tensile strength, is not a property that you probably want to focus on so much. Okay, it's important for us, I think, to know, and we can always share that with you. But it's not something that you need to ask everybody about. Well, what's the tensile strength of this string? Right? We know it. Okay, and if you have a special string that you love and you want to find out the tensile strength, tell us what it is, and if we've tested it, we'll tell you. And if we don't have it and haven't tested it, we'll see if we can find a set and do that and test it and see how it compares to others. That's all this we are doing is comparing. We're not making one string a higher level than the other. They're all done the same way, the same testing methods, prepped and unprepped. Okay? And just to be clear, what prepping means to us is that the string has been totally pre-stretched because it's getting ready to go into a client's racket and they are pre-stretched. Non-prepped means we pull it off the reel or off the set and test it. Okay? Some of the strings we found that the properties will be I don't want to say necessarily enhanced, but they will be changed by pre-stretching. Most of the times it does enhance the elongation. In other words, the string will be have a tiny bit more elongation than a non-prepped string. A non-prepped string may have a faster tension loss by a certain amount, and we do a creep test for that as well, individually, strings individually. So there's a lot to to know about it. Excuse me, that you don't need to know necessarily, but if you want to know, we can help you in that regard. Okay. Power potential is another property of string, and we've been testing for power potential since 1989. And it's simple by nature. It is the area of the string under load under the amount of stretch at a certain weight or force. Okay. What we're trying to do now with the new Questron equipment, well, not new, we've been using it for 4 or 5 years. With the Questron equipment, we're almost able, well, we are able, we just haven't done it. We are able to determine the power potential at every given force level. For example, the Questron gives us data every millimeter. Okay, right now we're set up to pull the string at 1 pound per millimeter. Okay, so we know every millimeter how powerful, quite frankly, the string is. Okay, there's better terminology, but to make it simple, power potential is what we continue to use. And on the website, there is something like 500 strings with the power potential listed. So if you want to know the power potential as tested, the power potential has a lot to do with how hard you swing the racket. I mean, if you're like me and don't swing the racket very hard, there's not much power going to come off of that thing. All right. If you're like other people that we know and work with, the power potential from them is huge, but the string and the string bed stiffness has a certain power potential. What you do with it is up to you. Okay, how you handle it, that's really up to you. Okay, so be careful what you do. Another thing we are doing and have been doing for quite a while is calculating the power potential of the finished racket, and that involves not only the stiffness of the racket, but the string bed stiffness. And the string bed stiffness we're finding is really the driver of the power potential of you and the racket as a unit. Okay, so we're going to be processing more of that and showing more of that as time goes on. But we're getting to the point now where we have a little bit more time to do the kind of things that we wanted to do with our website, with our videos, so on and so forth. So we're getting better at that, but we'll see how good we can be. That's the bottom line. And so that's why, if you have anything you want to know about that we can help you with, and we'll try to help you with anything, please let us know. And on our website, we do have a GTP chat GPT function that you can type in a question and get an answer. It is large language. Okay, so it's stuff that somewhere has been seen before. Okay, we don't know where it comes from. It doesn't come from us. Typically, it comes from the great AI cloud in the hemisphere somewhere. Okay, whatever that is. All right, we use it. We find it very interesting. Some of the answers are not accurate, so we know that this information has come from a source that may or may not be as as accurate as it could be. But nonetheless, it's fun, it's reasonably good information, and if it causes any questions, then you contact us and let us know, and we'll try to find out what the heck is going on, okay? Linearity is another property of string that is important. Tell you what else is important. It's early in the morning, so excuse me. Good, very good. So sorry. Linearity is the property of a string that indicates the consistency as you hit with it. And on the website, you'll see the latest post shows three strings, okay? With the different stress strain curves, the linearity, and the ultimate tensile strength. We found that the straighter the line, well, we didn't find, it's physics. It's the straighter the line, the more consistent the hits will be off of that particular string, all right? So if you're looking at an individual string, and what we found over the years is individual data can be applied almost to the total string bed as it's set up, 16 by 19, 18 by 20, so on and so forth, okay? So if you look at that linearity line, you want that thing to be as straight as it can be, you know, from the beginning to the end. And then you know you've got a string that is going to be consistent, okay? One client said, with this string, I don't feel any hot spots, okay? It's very, very consistent. So power potential, ultimate tensile strength, linearity are three things that we don't talk about very much, but I think they're important. And if you have any questions about a string you're using, or one that you would like to use, or think you'd like to use, please let us know. And if we have the data, we'll send it on, we'll post it, and you'll be good to go. And speaking of posting, we're going to be posting a lot of stuff, and our posts are posted for our and your information. There are no endorsements implied with anything that we do. If there is something that we feel especially good about, we will share that with you, and we will let you know that this is why we feel so good about this product. We will not hold back. We will tell you exactly what is good about the product. The converse of that is we hardly ever will point to a product and say it's horrible, because, as we've always said from the very beginning, there's hardly any such thing as a bad string. There are such things as bad applications, okay? So a blanket statement about X is bad and Y is good is not a good thing, okay? So anyway, thank you very, very much for listening and watching. If you have any questions at all, please let us know, and we'll find out for you. Okay? Ciao. Thanks a lot. Bye.